Welcome everyone in this new live development video about building an auto battle game. In this video we're going to fix up our camera logic in order to make it so when we go to the combat phase everyone sees units in the proper angle. And we're also going to fix the fact that when we actually that units are not properly oriented when we move them. So, but first we just have to talk about the fact that I fixed some of the logic regarding outside of the screen, nothing related to code. I fixed the material, the team color material, because I was tired of seeing ugly stuff, and I made the first color pink just for the sake of testing my materials. So I modified some of the color in the team color here, and I'm going to reset them just because I want them to be like pure for now. So I'm just going to make them red once more, and blue and green, pure red, pure green, pure, etc. So okay, so as you can see, team color are a bit better now. They're actually quite better. So I modified these colors, and I modified some of the team color which were used here. Nothing to worry about, nothing to care about regarding the code. So how are we going to make it so the camera switcher are correct when we start the game? We'll actually modify how camera switcher are set, and we will make them contained within the fight zone instead of the battlefield. So let's do this by going into the battlefield. Do we have a reference to the camera pivot here? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. We do have this. If our ID is not local, then we modify this. Yeah, that's right. And we modify our camera pivot X, and we don't want to do that anymore because they are going to be offset by default. So if we delete this, it's going to throw errors at us, but we don't care for now. We're going to compile, browse to the battlefields, go to the grid, go to the fight zone, and we're going to open up the viewport. We're going to add a camera pivot. I mean a scene. Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, it was just a billboard, I think. We don't care. This is gonna be camera pivots like this. We're going to make it bigger like we did the other time. Oh yeah, we are lagging, but it doesn't really matter for now. So we need to use this. So this is where our player camera is going to be teleported at, and we'll offset that by 500 for now just to see how it behaves. If we go back to our map, we don't want the camera pivot to be here, we want it to be there or there. So we'll offset it in the y-axis, hit compile. Yeah, that's it. That's what we want. Maybe that's too much. We want like 250. Why not? Like this. And then that's kind of strange that we have to offset it this way. We should be offsetting it like this rather. It should be more logical, I think. It will be in the same direction than the fight zone, but apparently it's not. If we open up the battlefield, the scene, yeah, I guess that's it. That's what's not right. Yep, it should be like this. Are we using the scene? No, we're not, so we can get rid of the scene in the battlefield, and we have 2 fight zones and an arrow. So that's exactly what we want. If we hit compile, yeah, this is the correct orientation. if we're hitting play, what's going on? Okay, it's fine. Oh yeah, it lost. Yeah, of course. We broke, we broke the logic by removing the camera pivots. Which might seem kinda strange, but it's not actually. Well, actually it is strange. Some of the units don't have... Oh yeah. It's not properly rotated. This is my battlefield, so this is really strange. We are spawning the grid. We're not properly spawning the grid, I assume. If we go to our build grid logic in here, how we're offsetting them. I would say that if we add an arrow there, let's make the arrow blue just for the sake of seeing both arrow. Oh yeah, we crashed. Okay, we crashed because I'm not sure why. I think because there are arrows in arrow and it doesn't like it. We added an arrow to fight to grid, and so fight zone add an arrow, and battlefield have 2 arrows now. Yeah, so it didn't add our arrow, directional arrow. We're just gonna rename that just to see if we still crash. No, we don't crash. We'll make that blue. Compile. Oh, it doesn't like when I change the color of the arrow, apparently. So we're not gonna modify the color of the arrow. And the fact that the camera switcher is so yeah, it's not spawning them correctly. As you can see here, this should be spawning the battlefield like this, and this one should be spawning the battlefield like this, but they are spawning the battlefield like this. And we don't want that. But since I'm bad at maths, I'm failing to realize what should I be doing here. Their location is not correct. Maybe that's just this and that. Yes, the camera switcher has an error. So that was clearly not that. Oh, actually wasn't it? I think it was actually. Because that one is poorly oriented, so if we're doing this, our units are correct. But this is not correct, so we just have to offset this to the left, which is y, the y-axis, by half the total size of the grid. So the size of the square multiplied by the amount of columns we have. We just have to do this minus this divided by 2, I guess, because we want to be located half. If we are hitting play, it's almost this. We are short 1 because we did -1 here, so we just don't want to do -1 here, I suppose. Yep. So this is my battlefield, and this is the other battlefield. Yep. So this is more correct. So our camera pivot is broken. It doesn't matter for now. We're going to fix it. So how are we going to do that? So in our graph of the camera switcher, we can close the other things, I guess. We're gonna open up our camera entry. Camera entry ID is gonna be a vector 2D. We're going to save all before we do this because we might crash when compiling this. We did not crash, that's good. If we go back to our camera switcher and refresh that node, it's gonna turn the ID here into an int, into a vector 2D. And camera is going to be an array of vector 2D. Yeah, we want to change the variable type. We're gonna hit compile, you're gonna throw many errors, we don't care. So we're grabbing all of the battlefields. We want to grab their fight zones. We want to loop through their fight zones. And for each fight zones, we want to grab their camera pivot. Oh, that was a BP. So yeah, what did we do in that blueprint? Camera pivot, where is it? We've done nothing here, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Does it matter? I think it don't. I think it doesn't. So we don't need to have this. So the camera is going to be an array of it can be an array of fight zone, which will make us able to retrieve some of the information we will need to rotate the camera and the units properly. So we're just going to destroy that ID. We're going to destroy that camera pivot, that child actor, that cast. We're going to unplug this. And we're going to make it that way. So for each fight zone, we want to store them into our camera lists. At what index? The index will be the ID of the battlefield in the x-axis and the ID of the fight zone in the y-axis. Like this. And then, so we have the name of the camera entry here. So this is gonna add 4 more camera entries. For now we don't care. The ID is that one. And we'll just, yeah. So in here we were checking if the ID is -1. So we want to grab the ID of our battlefield. If this is the local battlefield, we're going to name our stuff here base. So we're gonna have 2 base, one for the second player, I meant one for this battlefield and one for this one. For now we don't care about this. And in here it's gonna be called battlefield, and we're gonna plug the vector field here. We're going to hit compile, and camera entry clicked. We want that event to be plugged here. Yep, like this. and we still have an error because on camera switch required is gonna need vector 2D here. I wonder why it's throwing an error. Because maybe it failed to compile. We want to plug this. So we're grabbing, when we click camera, we're grabbing the ID of the camera and we are asking for a camera switch here. Current camera ID is going to be a variable which is going to be not a new variable, this is going to be a vector 2D. Change variable type. We'll see where we need to fix things like this. We're creating a fade screen, that's fine. We're going to hit compile once more and we have an error here. Teleport camera. We're gonna unplug these nodes, grab the camera here, grab the camera ID, and we want to grab the camera pivots, and we want to grab the world. I guess the world transform, because we'll try to teleport the player pawn. Actually we'll set actor transform like this. So if we do have the battlefield camera here, we're going to teleport our player pawn there. We'll still have an error here, which comes from the fact that camera entries are... We don't have an error here, so I'm wondering why we have an error there. Okay, yeah, on camera entry clicked is an event there, and when you do this, you're looking for events in that widget, and we want to be looking for events in this blueprint. So when we click camera entry, what does it do right now? Okay, we still have an error. In-game add, let's open that up. Yeah, at the beginning of the game, when we enter a new phase, where do we want to go? We want to go there. When we go to recruit phase, this is the base, -1 battlefield and 0 fight zone. Get player battlefield, we want to plug that here. If we're hitting play, so my camera is offset, and when I'm hitting plus, blue player is offset properly as well. So we just want to, so our camera pivots are not properly located in our fight zone, so we're just gonna open that up. I think maybe are we offset in some, so blueprint camera pivot, we can check this, and I think we can delete this. And I think our fight zone here, I think we can remove the offset. Oh, did we crash? No, we did not. So where is it located? I think it's there. Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. So we have 4 bays. We shouldn't have 4 bays. So I guess it created 4 entries for each of the battlefields. So there's still, maybe we need to put them here. But I was wondering if we were offsetting them by hand. I don't feel like we are. Sounds correct. We are too far away in here. Because we shouldn't have the same offsets depending on if we are at base or on in the battlefield. So how are we going to do this? Actually, I think we add what we needed in our battlefield blueprint in here. Oh, did we crash? No, we did not. So we have, I think if we open up our output log, it's gonna lag and we're gonna have, yeah. Let's hit play just for the sake of seeing what's going on. So yeah, we have almost a proper camera for the base, but not for the combat itself. So we'll set up the camera for the base, and we'll change the camera pivot of all the battlefield. No, quite the other way around, which sounds more logical. For the only fight zone which is local, we're going to change its camera relative location. Actually add relative location will do. We'll hit play, and no, we'll actually do the other way around, just because when we hit play it's easier to see if we are on the right track regarding the position. So are we on the right track? No, we're not. So we want to move this a bit here. Okay, a bit less. Okay, still a bit less, and we will move that a bit here and this a bit there. Hitting play. Not at all. We'll just make it so grid build their grid in here, so we'll lag a lot. So yeah, way easier this way. If we open up the base, I think what we want to do is to have this align on the battlefield itself. And the shop on the left, for instance. I think it's not aligned on the grid. I'm not sure what's going on there. Why I can't align them. I think that's because of the offset. Well, actually it's not. It's because of the rotation, I assume. Yep, that was it. So we want this to be like that. And we want the battlefield to be like this, maybe. We'll see how it goes. So we're like, we're clearly not and we have an error. Oh yeah, so the error comes from the bench. So one thing at a time, just the error, because we modified the bench. We have to make it so in here we actually spawn them on the x-axis instead of the y. Yeah, I spawned more units in here. We shouldn't have the error anymore. Yeah, we don't. And what if we... So how was the camera here? So we only want one player for now. It's 2. I can't seem to find the proper... Was it fine? No, it has to be centered. Like this maybe. And maybe we'll offset these a bit. Yep, for now it will do the trick. So we have like our spawn camera. We will have to check out the battlefield camera, and for that we'll actually use, so we'll have to go back to our battlefield, and we'll actually use set relative transform, set relative location, not rotation and location, set relative location, just like this. And what do we want here? For now we'll just say we reset it. So if we hit play, if we add units to our bench... Oh, we have a bug with that. Nice. Oh yeah, okay. We have the... Oh, we don't have the bug where tile spawn again. We'll just remove the fact that grid build their grid on construction script like this, and we will hit play once more. So if we go to our combat phase, we're way too far. But I had the feeling that we were actually offsetting this somewhere, like I was talking about earlier. But we might not be. Yeah, we are okay. The camera pivot is located... Well, it's right in the middle. So I really don't know why. I really don't know why we are so far away. But I guess we can just say that we're going to be offset in X by like 500, just to see. Okay, in the other way around. Yep, we can even go like 600. So if I'm doing this and the blue player does this, and then this guy starts the fight, we can see we are oriented like this, and in here we can see we are oriented like that. So I guess we are pretty happy about this, except the fact that we now have 4... We have way too many entries in there. So why is it so? In our camera switcher, for each battlefield, for each fight zone, so first off we only want to do this in the end. Oh no, we don't. Well, actually, I think we want to do something like... Yeah, okay, that works. But what's the matter here? So first off, we're building... So why do we have... For each of the battlefield, we are creating 2. We shouldn't be creating 4. So first off, we don't want to do this. We want to break. Oh, actually, we don't need to break. We will just plug what we need here. So we want like this. We want to append. And we want that like this. It created... We only want to loop through. I'm having a hard time understanding why it's doing this, but I think it's just quite logical when it comes to loops. So we don't have 2 battlefields. I don't... I have 1 battlefield here, spawning, looping, except if this is wrongly initialized. We'll just print this real quick. Maybe there are 4 fight zones recorded. Yeah, okay. So this is the issue here. So this is really a problem. Hopefully we are seeing this now. So our battlefield actually has, because it's doing this, I guess it's doing this in construction script as well. Yeah. Store fight zone reference. We want to clear fight zones here before doing this. Like that. So yeah, so I can go to the base on the other side. And I guess maybe we'll not create... maybe we'll not show... We'll do something to hide the cameras we shouldn't be going... we shouldn't be seeing. So we'll just do a set visibility here. And we'll select. So you can ignore that step if you want to be able to teleport to each camera, to any camera. So if the fight zone ID equals 1, it's gonna be collapsed, else it's gonna be visible. Oh, I guess... Yeah, I guess is equal to 0 is gonna be visible, else it's gonna be collapsed. Like this, obviously. I got an army of orcs, of wolf riders, and this guy has an army of rangers and skeletons. Oh yeah, I can't start the fight here. So the fight occurs. And we can say we are properly, our camera is okay. I think we can, I just want to make a real quick fix to our camera character. Let's change the angle a bit. Maybe not that much. Yep, maybe a bit like this. Okay, it sounds better, looks better. Maybe not, but it doesn't matter. So we've improved our camera system, and we made so our player were properly oriented. Their camera was properly oriented based on where they were going to fight. So I think it's going to wrap up that video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.